Hiya guys, and welcome back to Aid's Workshop. So I think on this occasion I'm going to have to start this episode with a massive, absolutely enormous thank you to you all. All of you subscribers, fans, whoever you are, that have given money to my Just Giving page to help the British Red Cross Ukraine Fund or Ukraine Emergency Fund appeal. Now, I put the video up last Sunday, we're Saturday morning now, and as it stands, the fund, now you're not going to believe this guys, is £4,588. That's what you guys have given to this cause and to my Just Giving page. And all I'm doing in return is doing a walk up a mountain, but you've only got to visit the page and you'll see what that's all about. So once again guys, a massive thanks for all your support and your huge generosity to help me along on this charity effort. I just believed I should do my little bit. And you've certainly done your bit big time, so thanks guys, hugely appreciated. So let's get on with this little mini project of making the bits and bobs for my nephew's swimming pool. Cheers now. So I got 4 more of these rollers, nylon rollers. They're 40 by 40 at the moment, and they've got to finish on a diameter of 39mm, and they've got to be 30mm long. So very similar procedure to what I did on the others. I've got one up in the chuck, holding, I got it stuck out. What have I got it stuck out? About 33mm. So I'm just going to take a scratch pass on this OD. I've got it in the centre on the bearing, in my running centre, clamped down in the 3-jaw, and I'm just going to take a scratch pass off here. Use the feed for this. Let's get myself a reference diameter before I start. I'm going to do these as a batch, as there's 4 of them. So a quick skim along that surface. Get a bit of a nylon swarf build up. Just to get a reference diameter. Let's just go into mill or so from the chuck there. Let's set a 0. I'll do the same on all of them then. Let's get my little forceps in from removing that swarf. I've just removed the swarf with the forceps, and what I'm finding is that they lock, obviously on the bottom end here, and for my purposes, where I'm just using them for grabbing swarf and pulling them out, I think what I'm going to do is just grind off the locking mechanism on the top, so that they don't lock on me, because when they do lock you've got to sort of grab them to open them up. You know, they do lock very firmly when you lock them, these being a sort of surgical piece of equipment in stainless. If you don't grab too tight they don't lock, so I'll see how I get on. I'll persevere with them as they are and see how I get on. So I need to see what diameter that is. I'm just going to grab a 25 to 50 mic. I just had a quick measure up and I'm on 40.1mm, so they must have been over. So I'm going to set a 0 on my DRO. I'm going to take 0.25 off the diameter, which, well, off the radius. That will take half mil off, so that should give me 30.6. So I'm just going to run that cut. Swarf pick up. I can use my little forceps again. That's into a 0 on my DRO. So I've got my little forceps here. Let's try this now. Yeah, they've locked on me where I'm gripping. I'm going to remove the little lock mechanism. Yeah, it's locked on me again. Being a lefty, they don't lend themselves to me being able to get that out quick and simply. So yeah, I think little modification to that tool to make it more suitable for me. Let's have a measure. Should be about the 30.6 mark now. They're actually 39.5. just going to set a 0 on my dial, set a 0 there, and that 0 will be the finished cut for the meantime. I'm just trying to do this in like 2 cuts, so I'm hoping that I can do all 4 of them in just these 2 cuts. I'm just going to come in here to the 0 again. Let's just get rid of that. Take a measurement. It's trouble when you take a light cut in this stuff, it strings up quite badly. Right, let's have a measure. 39.01. I don't know whether that'll show up on camera. Okay, so I'm going to call that, and that is smack on 0 on my dial and 0 on my DRO. So I'm going to wind off, take our part out, put the next one up, just nip it there, stick it out 33mm, a mil or so, like that as a base point. Bring the centre in, lock the centre, loosen the chuck, pull it onto the centre, tighten the chuck, and yeah, off to go. So I simply wind in till I'm 0.25 off surface, there, take the first cut, string hasn't picked up yet. There it is. Typical. Have that out the way. Dear me. This is not playing fair, is it? Winding to 0 on my dial, my DRO agrees, take second cut, and this should be 39mm. Is it going to wrap up? Yep. Hopefully, now this nylon swap is not sharp, so all of you that I'm using my fingers, well, yeah, I am, but it isn't sharp stuff. It's not like a type of steel or aluminium or a metal where you get sharp swarf. You wouldn't want to pull on it; it can still cut you, but. Yeah, 39mm on the button. So my system is working. I shall do all 4 in the same manner. So I need to face them to length now with the 30mm. So I'm just going to touch my tool on the chuck, set a 0, come back off the job. Now the part is hard against the chuck and the chuck is tight. So yeah, I'm just going to machine this off to 30mm. So I've got a 31. Take, I don't know, maybe 3 big cuts. I'm wondering if I shouldn't part these. It might be useful, that bit of nylon. Let's finish this one, and then we maybe change over to the others. So .30mm is the overall length I'm after. I should do 0.5. Wouldn't grab hold of that with a chuck spinning. And I'm going to go to 30. Missed it. There we are, lock carriage. Base start off on 30mm. Okay. So let's pull that out of there. Let me just double check my size. I got the right mic anyway, so where are we? $29.95. Okay. We'll live with that. So yeah, I wonder if I shouldn't part these off. Let me just see. Maybe push that back against there. Let's change to the parting tool. Will that go right in there? Yes, it will. Maybe touch the edge of this on the chuck and part them off at 31 and then go around them afterwards facing the length. So let's have a look. Set a 0 there. Come to 31. Lock carriage. See how this does. It won't go deep enough. Okay. Well, it was worth a try. I literally can't be bothered to get a parting blade, so I'll go back to plan A. Oh, it's very close. Oh, I can almost snap that off. I wonder. Let's have a look. I'm just thinking out loud. I have a blade in there. I might be able to cut that off. Let's have a look. A rusty old Stanley blade, long one. Yeah, you never know, that bit might be useful sometime going forward. So I'll part off the other three now, and then we'll face them to the reading as we did with the first one. So yeah, happy with that. That seems to be okay. Pop that back into my 31. No need to move my parting blade. You never know, that bit of nylon one day may become very handy for something. I normally would have stopped the camera here, but I'm just going to let it roll. That's the last one, so I can take that out of the way. Right, so I wasn't being particular care about getting it flat on the back. I have this time. Let's change back to the original tool. I haven't changed the DRO, have I? I have. Let's touch on the face of the chuck. In fact, there. 0. So face it to 30. So I'll just go 30.5. And 30. fact, I could probably, looking at the way that machine, leave the tool exactly where it is. Just check this one. $29.95. Whoop. We're calling that. So which two have I not done? These two. Let's just face that up in one go. I'm going to want a little chamfer on here. Push that one down. Okay, so that's the 30 by 39, and obviously now I've got to put a bore back in the front end to take the bearings, and I should have 3 spare pieces of nylon. So yeah, so just swap the chamfering tool, set myself a 0. This is the second one now. Come into a 0 there. Where I skimmed the OD, I removed the chamfer on the top, so flick him around 180. Same reading. And we'll chamfer both sides, top corners of all 4. So I set this up with the first one. I've set my carriage stop here on the bed, so my table is set at 7mm deep from a touch off on the front. So I'm basically going to do this in 2 cuts. So I'm going to come in 1 full turn to my 0. I'm going to wind in, to my stop, and back out. Shove that out the way. 1 turn on the hand wheel to 0, and this should be finishing cut. And back out. So I've got complete confidence. I'm going to take that one out. I'm going to put another one in. These are the last 2. Lock it solid. Wind off. Wind off 1 turn. There. Come into 7mm. Or to my stop on my carriage. So that's a roughing pass. Then that's 1mm aside, being taken out for a finishing pass. Okay, so if I take the bearing, it will just, I can sort of start it on the kiff, on the squiff. So I'll take it out, and yeah, I mean, yeah. Okay, let's try and do this on. You can see it's, may need to give it a little tap, but yeah, the bearing fits in there nicely. It's going to need a little tap, but it's in no way, shape or form loose. So that's pretty much those wheels done. 39 diameter by 30mm wide from what was a 40 by 40. Total time taken for 4 of them, maybe 30 minutes. And for those of you that were wondering, yes, I have gone and taken off the little locking lugs off. I cut them off with a hacksaw, dressed the corners up with a file, and now we have something that'll I can grip and let go without them locking on me. So, happy days. So, try and explain. I picked up the centre of the world, left and right, in the x-axis. Set a datum, 16mm down, which is where these 2 holes are. The centre hole is only 14mm down, so I've set a 0 in Y here, and offset from the centre position 27mm in both directions. So this is the last hole of the 3. I'm taking it very gently, this being 316, very slow with a drill. What am I doing? 500 RPM. Nice cobalt drill, keeping a bit of liquid metalworking fluid on it. Centre drilled them all first. I'll go down to the bottom, just spot it, pick up a bit more glue, rub a bit on the bottom. Bottom of the part is up off the base of the vise by about 10mm. Let's just keep it all nice and lubricated, and it drills sweet. Stop is set on my quilt so I can't drill into my vise. Okay, so that's all 3 holes done in position, 7mm diameter all the way through. So I'm going to change up to a 7.5 now for these 2 outer ones, and then put the 8mm reamer through. So that's the 8mm reamer up. Just slow down a bit. So that's 7.5mm drilled. $8mm reamed in the top. I'm having to stay with a 7mm hole in the bottom. And across to 27 the other way. Lock. Only 3mm wall thickness this. And the reamer just eats that away. Okay, so that's the 2 holes done for the spindles, for the 2 rollers, or the 2 rollers in this one of the 4 rollers we made earlier. Now this central hole, I believe, is 14 diameter. Let me just check my sketch. It's 14 diameter, but 13 in the bottom. So I'm going to have to get a 13mm drill up now and drill down through on that central datum. I have got a 13mm cobalt drill. I've even got a 13mm reamer. Have I? I'm going to check. But yeah, we'll see where we are and we'll get these holes done. I'll bring you back when we've worked out how we're going to do it. So the hole in the bottom has got to be 13mm. So I'm going in right through with the 13 from the top first. Keeping the cut going when I do cut. So there's going to be a shaft fitting in this hole, and I shall machine the shaft to fit the hole snugly in the bottom face, hence why a drilled hole will do. I may have to make bespoke shafts for each one depending on how the hole came out, but yeah, that's 13mm hole right through. So I have a 1732 drill bit, which I think I'm going to use for the top to give me 13.5. And then I'll have a look around and see if I got a 14mm drill. I'm pretty sure I have. So I had a slight issue, I had to sharpen the drill bit. But no worries, I have a grinder. And 14mm, here we go. That's it, 14mm in the top, 13mm in the bottom. Yeah, so that's it. That's the hole drill. Just need to deburr all this now and do the other part exactly the same. So as you can see, I got the bar up, but we turned the ends on up against the stop, this end, taking it nice and gentle. And we're drilling a 5mm hole. I've centered it all up. That's a 5mm hole there for an M6 thread. Let's move up to this end. And then 15 is my datum. It was 15 and 75. There's a 15. A little bit of liquid love. Only doing 700 RPM. Nice cobalt drill. Just gonna pop a hole through there. Keeping the steady pressure so as not to weld it all up. Okay, so I did center drill it first. Next datum is 30. Let me get to there. That's it. Just switch that drill off, clean up the area. Pop the part out. Oh, might have to move that parallel. Yes, I have to. Back in. Sorry if I'm getting in the way here, guys. I'm not looking in my viewfinder. Up against the stop. Center drill hole is there. And drill that one at 30. So there's 4 holes in here, 90 degrees different. So 15 and 30, and there's 75 and 125 on the other end. So these are going to be M6 tapped holes, hence the 5mm drill. Here's one. Then we'll move along to the 125. I'm just hand winding this, it's quicker. 1, 2, 5. Again, a little bit of cutting compound again. It's up off the bed of the vise, so there's no fear of drilling in. There's probably 8mm gap under here. Secret with drilling stainless is keep the pressure going. Not too fast with the drill, you'll just burn it out. And of course, another useful thing is having decent cobalt drills, or carbide if you got them, but I've got decent carbide drills. Cobalt, I should say. Oh, let's go up a bit, get that drill out. So let me just put that back in my drill index. Can I get the 6 in? Not there. Wind up. So slow down a tad, and I'm going to do a 6mm just under surface. There we go, about a millimetre. Back to 30. I'll do this both sides. Then we'll put a little chamfer on. I might even just file the top. Then we'll tap the holes. So 30 is there on the arrow. As you can see, just mill under surface. Keeping the brush to hand. Always a handy brush. I'm just going to flip that 180. Do the same on this side. Ooh. Against the stop again. Lock it off. And back to the 125. Then we're flipping 90 degrees and do the same on both sides of the other 2 holes. And then we'll just hand tap the 4 holes. So tapping out the 4 holes, M6, and I'll do this on both bars So there's 2 holes in this orientation about here, and 2 holes this way. And these are going to be screwed into a big aluminium extrusion, like a 4x2 extrusion, with big washers on the outside, and this will hold that into the frame of the swimming pool cover, and then the whole frame will slide back and forth on the whole thing. So just a little bit of a burr on the top of there. Let's just take any signs of burr off. On the 4 sides. That's only where I've drilled it. I'm not going to put a countersink on there, just deburring it'll be fine. Now I will just run a file along all 4 corners just to take a sharp edge off, so that it'll sit neatly when it's screwed into place in the extrusion. So I'm just going over all the surfaces I can get to with a wire wheel in the grinder, just making sure that there's no nasty sharp edges. So these little roller carriages are finished. Everything is 316 stainless, right down to the circlips. Obviously the bearings are not. Okay, M6 tapped holes as we showed, turned down the end, circlip in there. That was a fiddle to fit, but it is in there. And basically these run inside this channel. So if I just show, let me pop that one out of the way. So the rollers on the back run against the back wall should it get any side load. So pushing that way, and the weight is down on the rollers that way. And at some points it may try and lift, and the rollers will also run on the top face as well. So yeah, that's it. And this does have to rotate as it travels, as you can see, and it rotates quite freely. So yeah, that's the pair done. One is on this side, so this way round, 12-15 feet the other way, and this one's on this end. And basically the canopy is mounted onto these bars, and as the canopy hinges back, the weight is taken down on the bottom here and runs along these rails to the open position, and then as it slides down, as you can imagine, the arc turns as it slides down and closes a lid over a swimming pool. So yeah, enjoyed that little job. It was a bit fiddly. The box sections obviously are all shapes and sizes and God knows what went on, but that was out of my control. But yeah, it's done. So they're going to be packed up and posted back off to Mike. So Mike, I hope they work nicely for you. I don't know whether you can see here on the tops where the pins are passed through. On the small end they pass through an extra 1/2 to 3/4 of a millimetre, and then are peened over on this top edge. And so these pins, all four of them, 4 in each bracket, are now fixed. If they ever need to be removed, you need to grind off the top of the pin and tap them out. Should you ever need to change the bearings, and I can always knock up some new shafts. So yeah, that's pretty much it. So I think we'll call it a day on this one, guys. That's the parts all finished up, and a few little other sneak previews as well. So I will put the link to the Just Giving page in the description of this video, should any of you have missed it. And as I say, a huge thank you to you all. And yeah, I'm overwhelmed, guys. It's very humbling to see the amount of support that I've had on this. So yeah, you're all great people. So that said, thanks for watching, guys. Thanks for subscribing. Thanks for donating, and we'll see you all very soon. Cheers now.